Caution, this item is highly electrical. Don't imitate what I'm doing because you're not like me. I'm immune to electricity and you're not. Okay, so this is a CD player, tape player that I'm taking apart. First thing, we find this tape in the tape deck that has like a wire on it for something. Alright, so yeah, watch me take this apart. So first, start unscrewing it, and make sure you use the flipping around like a Rubik's Cube and removing random screws method. I'm pretty good at the screwing stuff, aren't I? See that? Pretty quick with the screwdriver. Yeah, make sure you randomly remove screws, flip it around. Okay, so here is what I tried to show you with that close-up of the plastic there is it's made of, it has some recycling number on it. They're not going to recycle it though. Unless you have one of those fancy recycling companies that some places have, but mine's not going to recycle the plastic on this. Okay, I'm going to need to interrupt this special broadcast for a very special announcement. I'm going to need you to go ahead and click the like button and subscribe so that I get money, because I like money. If I don't get money, I get angry. So make sure you do that right now. I'll just wait here while you click the like button and click to subscribe. I need 1,000 subscribers or else YouTube won't give me any money, because they're trying to save money by not giving me any of it. Okay, so now I'm removing the CD player so that I can get to the rest. Now I'm going to remove this side, or whatever it is. Oh, and I found a butter knife in there, a free butter knife for free. They came with it at no additional cost. Someone just thought I needed a butter knife, which I do, actually. That'll come in handy. Alright, so I found this other thing. That's another plastic piece. Okay, so I've got the back removed now. And this is actually made out of wood, so you can just use that for extra firewood. That's what I'm going to use it for. Okay, so here's the cracked side. That's plastic also. And now I'm going to try to get the face off. I have to disconnect some wires here. And now I gotta remove the screws that are holding on the transformer. So I need another tool, as you can see, and the screws have a lot of parts on them, nuts and stuff. And now I'm bending some metal back and forth to release the cord for the transformer, because it's easier than the other option. The cord was stuck in a hole in the metal. That's the way to get it off. So here's the last parts. And I have to bend some metal out of the way because the bottom's made of metal and there's some screws holding the circuit board on. And to get to the screws I have to remove some of it. Alright, so here's the bottom, and this is a piece of metal. You can add it to your scrap metal collection. And then here's a circuit board with a bunch of useful components. You might have seen a big heatsink coming off of it, perpendicular to the board. And that has some MOSFET transformers on it. Transistors, I mean. And an aluminum heatsink. Here's a little tiny motor for something. More screwing action. And now I have a transformer with a cord on it. And I'm trying to remove it from... Okay, so here's the transformer with the cord on it. Very useful. So here's the front of the player. And I removed the circuit board that goes to the face. Okay, so here is the front face circuit board. You saw a LCD screen on there and some buttons. Here is the CD player unit. There's a motor that I just pulled out of it. Ah, clumsy bastard. Okay, so here is the circuit board for the tape deck. That I just unscrewed from the plastic piece. There's a lot of parts that need unscrewing. And then this is another chunk of plastic. So here's the CD thing, and I'm removing the top part and pushing out the rotator. And let's just throw that on the side, and then I tear this off and pop some more crap out. Look at that. Okay, so I got this little circuit board. I have to rip it from the wires. It's a little circuit board that you can't really see. Oh, there's like an LED light on there or something. And then on this side we have a little tiny motor. Another little motor with a thing on it. Like a screw hook or something. A screw. That's for opening and closing the CD drive, I think. And this is just another piece of plastic. Throw that in the corner. And then this thing is the gearbox for the thing. It has this little thing here. That's the part that reads the CD. There's like a laser on there and a circuit board. So I unscrewed that from this plastic thing. Throw that in the plastic collection. And then there's these rubber things in the corner I'm pulling out. Little rubber cylinders, those might be useful. And then I'm setting that circuit board aside for later. And then this is the tape deck. See, I've unscrewed one half of it already. It has two tape decks. And now I'm unscrewing stuff. There's a bunch of... Okay, here's a motor in the middle. And it's made of steel. The main base of it is made of steel. So throw that in your scrap metal collection. Okay, so you can see I got a better screwdriver at some point. Because you need... Okay, here's the motor. Because, yeah, you need like 5,000 or 6,000 screwdrivers to take stuff apart. And that's getting dark too. You can see a big, dangerous knife in my hand, which I have to use to cut things. Cable ties and shit. And stuff. And there is, that's a magnetic tape head for playing and recording tapes. This is a washer, some kind of funny washer. Some piece of plastic thing, I guess. Yeah, there's a bunch of little springs and bits of metal on the tape deck when you're taking it apart. Lots of different bits of metal and stuff. Naughty. Punish. Okay. So there's like wires. I have to rip some wires. Rip some metal to get some wires out. Okay, so here's the rest of the CD player. It's just a bunch of plastic gears. You can use those if you use them. I don't use them, so I'm just gonna add them to my throw. Okay, so now let's have a look at all the stuff I found. So this is all the stuff I found from taking this apart. I found a pile of plastic junk, several containers of different things, a bunch of screws. I have one with springs in it and rubber bands and some of those rubber cylinders, a few other odds and ends, and then I have another one with various bits of metal, mainly from the tape deck. Next I found a piece of wood. You could use that for different things. I'm gonna probably burn mine in the wood burner for the winter. It'll help heat my house. And then the next thing I found is a transformer with a plug-in for it, and a bunch of various secondary coils. I'm sure that'll be very useful. And then this is the little laser unit for the CD listener. Because it had 3 parts. It was like a radio, a tape recorder, tape player, and a CD player. And this is the laser for the CD player. That could be useful maybe for something. But don't use it because you'll burn your eyes out easily. And then I also found a bunch of little motors. Look at all those motors. Those will be very useful. DC motors. And then I found some circuit boards. 3 big ones. The 3 main ones. Here's the big one. The big one has that big aluminum heat sink that you can see at the top with a bunch of MOSFET transistors on it. And then there's a bunch of various other useful electrical components on it, like a lot of electrolytic capacitors and other things. Very useful. Here's the next one. It's the one, well, it just has a bunch of little buttons, a few capacitors, and some kind of LCD screen for the display. And then here's the third one. It has some big power diodes, it looks like, a few fuses, and some electrolytic capacitors, big ones. And then here's the steel I found, the larger pieces. Very useful. Steel is always good to have. And as a bonus, I got a free tape with a plug coming off of it for playing tapes on a MP3 player. Don't know if this works. And a free butter knife. So wow, what a great deal. Good thing I found all that stuff. Okay, so that's all for this video. But don't forget to subscribe. It's very important that you subscribe and also like the video and everything so that I get more subscribers and so that I can keep making these crappy videos. Because otherwise, YouTube won't give me any money. They raised the subscription level like a little after I started making videos a few years ago, so that now you need 1,000 subscribers to get any money at all. And I don't have anywhere near that, so I need to get subscribers. So make sure you subscribe and click the